Hey guys, welcome back to Cubs of Crazy with Rachel and Lee. This is take two for this video. We shot the other video, or we shot this episode on Monday, but it just
Didn't work out at all.
It did not. It
I
didn't
was
flow right.
No, I was like a black cloud. So we're doing it again because now I'm happy.
And then I was just like, yeah, it didn't work.
No.
And then yesterday I felt mad, so I went to bed early.
Same.
But here we are today.
Yeah. How's it going?
How's work going? It's
double
work.
whammy. It's going good. Today was my second day back, and I'm still trying to like remember things that I know. And you know, I've worked there for like 5.5 years. So today I had to ask someone a question. I was like, don't judge me, but I'm going to ask a question that I probably learned like my third week there. Bear with me. But no, it's been really great to just kind of be part of society again, I guess you could say. I don't know. And it's nice because like everyone, you know, that's there, you know, slacked me and we're like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're back. And it just made me feel really good because in this uncertain times, you know what I mean? Like I'm incredibly grateful that I got called back and I get to work with the awesome people that I've been used to working with, you know? So yeah, it's going great. I been using my special new notebook, and yeah, I already got quite a few. Moo.com, buddy. Yeah.
Stationery supplies.
Yeah,
we touched on that last time. Yeah, and it's really unfortunate because we did have a really funny bit that we can probably post after this or something. But we were talking about Lisa Frank and the stationery, and it brought us back to a nostalgic time.
Oh yeah, to this day just love stationery, and so we make stickers. So I would
make all the stickers. I would have all the labels.
Yeah, so we have like, you know, ones like this. We have little circle ones, and then we have these sticker books, and they're like, I don't know, like little squares, stickers. So Matt, my boyfriend, has a habit of falling asleep all the time. So I started.
Oh my God!
Taking
if she
pictures.
sends me a snap after 8:00 p.m., I start laughing immediately because I already know what it is.
Yes. Well, I made a sticker book out of them, and I used all different filters on them.
Why haven't I got it? I want one.
I've made 2 different ones so far, and I just randomly will give it to him, and he's like, "Are you serious right now?" It's so great. I'll find the sticker book so I can show you. It's So, I love stickers. I love ordering that stuff.
Me too.
Have a good time with it.
Yeah, I was going through like all my stuff today, and I was like trying to organize all my like pens and stuff. I have literally 22 highlighters. There's no reason. I don't even read like that anymore. I'm not in school anymore. Why do I need all these highlighters?
Because in case you need one.
I know. And then half of them are dried out now, so.
Yeah, well, see, that means though you have to go get more. So
I know. So you have to back up and go get more.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you to everybody that has listened and followed and watched and subscribed. We've been getting a lot of messages and comments and emails, and we really appreciate them. We're still learning the ropes here, but I think that we're doing okay. I enjoy watching it or listening sometimes. Yeah. Took a while to get there, but now I can actually sit and listen to it.
Yes. We're pretty funny, especially when we're like just messing everything up.
Everything. I mean, I think this is the smoothest it's ever gone, like to set up at least.
Yeah, dude, right? Nice job.
We're like, here's the invite. Boom, I know, all set up. I was ready because the last time the camera was so shaky because we were laughing, I was moving, and it was a mess.
Good
time. But so we did talk about PTSD. That's kind of like what the topic is today. Lee deals with that as well as I do. You were diagnosed like a lot longer ago, though, I think.
Yeah, it's probably, I don't even know, like maybe 15 years ago or something like that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, and I was like last October.
Yeah.
1 year ago.
Oh wow.
Let me tell you how that's going.
How's it going?
It's all right.
So I'm trying to think, last time we kind of touched on like the anxiety and the triggers that kind of go with it. And, you know, basically my triggers aren't, I mean, they happen often, but it's also not something like it's not the worst of the brain battles, if you will. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what it is, but I also, um, I'm not in those situations where it would trigger something. Like, obviously, if I see a Mustang, like a black Mustang, and there's actually one around here that has the gray racing stripes, just like Chad's. So when I see something like that, it brings things back, along with I can't watch certain things like on TV, which I kind of get shit for sometimes, but anything that is like too violent, vulgar, too much nudity, can't handle it. It's a trigger. Can't watch it. So everyone's always like, "Oh, you see that movie?" And I call them adult movies. I can't watch them. And there are quite a few different reasons. No one really asks why. They just are like, "All right, you're weird." And not that I would tell people, but yeah, those are,
We know why.
yeah,
but
those are triggers for me.
But what's weird is that, like, it's the opposite for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because I know what you're talking,
Yeah.
We know. So, and it's like the opposite for me. I'm like, to me, sometimes I feel like like I like those things. Like I like 50 Shades of Grey. Like I like that stuff. Like my brain is, not that I am like overly or whatever, but that stuff interests me, I should say. Like I don't mind it. Like it's like I almost like want to investigate it versus not even, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Law and Order, SVU, like that. Like I like that, whereas you'd think that I wouldn't.
Right. Well, you know what's weird is I used to love that show, but the thing that bothers me, so this is another weird trigger. Now that I'm thinking of all the different things, I don't like darkness. I don't like walking into a room and it's dark when a light should be on. So that show is so dark. Like the lighting is horrible in that show.
It is.
And it bothers me.
Brighten it up a bit.
Yeah, it like really bothers me. So I had to stop watching it because it just made me uncomfortable. I used to hate when I would come home and all the lights were off, because that usually meant it was going to be very quiet in the house for the rest of the day and night or whatever.
Right.
So that's like a trigger for me too. And every time I go to my kid's grandmother's house, I walk in, they'll be sitting in there like 8 o'clock at night. The TV's on, but they're on their phones. No lights. So I go upstairs. I'm like flicking all the lights on. I'm like, guys, I can't handle like darkness. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But
I don't like dark, but I can't be scared. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm squinting so much. I can't see anything, and my eyes are in so much strain because I can't find my fucking glasses. But because I'm like, I just looked at myself and I was like, Jesus, like I'm squinting so hard, like trying to look at you. I can't be scared. If someone like AJ tries to scare me sometimes, or if like at work people know that I'm jumpy, so they'll purposely scare me, not realizing that the level that it does to my anxiety, or like how fast my heart beats from it, and for how long it goes on. It'll be like an hour of feeling like panicky. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's not like where you can just be like, oh haha. It's like it's not funny.
No. I usually will like instinctively like throw a punch, and I feel bad because Brendan loves to scare. And like I just hate it. And I tell him all the time. And like the worst part, I think, for me is when I get scared, I make a noise that my mother makes. She like goes, ooh, you know, one of those. And I'm like, "Argh!" So like, that's half the reason that I get pissed off, but also that feeling that just runs through you. And one time I like whacked his arm and he was like, and I'm like, Brendan, I'm sorry, but you can't scare me. Like it's not funny for me. I don't like it.
I still have to explain it to AJ. He's getting better at it now.
Yeah.
Because as he got older, I was like, listen, like you really cannot do this to me. Like, I'm serious. It's not funny. Because I used to just freak out because out of reflex, like out of, you know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah.
Bleh. And you don't want to do that. So it's like, you know how to avoid that? Stop doing it to me. Okay. Yeah. And then like, it doesn't even have to be on such a big scale. Like, you know, PTSD can come from so many things, like, you know, people automatically assume it with the war. And then it's a spectrum. I was like reading about it, and it's a spectrum. Like, you know, something that could have happened 3 months ago, someone can be over it within like 3 to 6 months, and that's it. But other people hold it in, and the biggest thing is getting it like treated. Like, you were diagnosed so early.
Yeah.
And he told me I should have been diagnosed like years and years and years ago, and I wasn't. So
right.
when it goes untreated, it just makes other disorders start popping up. That's why I told you last time. I feel like that's how, you know, if you have PTSD, like, and it goes untreated, like things just start popping up. Like, you never used to be anxious, but now you are, and now you
right.
have depression and blah blah blah, and you know, behaviorally you change and you get really withdrawn, and you know, it's just. So it has, but like I was saying, like a trigger for me is like Walmart aisle. Like that's something so smaller, sounds so dumb. But like I told you before, there's just like that one aisle that I just can't go in it for whatever reason. Like I can't go in it. And because it just makes me like, or cry or whatever. So
yeah.
Like,
so
for anybody out there, like even small triggers, like they're big, even though to somebody else it may seem small.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's why I think it's frustrating. Like when I have my ways about watching, you know, like adult type of movies where there's like a lot of like rape and that I can't watch that stuff. And it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's like, it is a big deal. And like, you may not know why, but it is. And, you know, you have to respect it. But I always get, oh my God, you never seen that movie? I'm like, no. Like I keep it B-side rated G.
Disney movies over here, guys.
Yeah. Or like just those cheesy ones where you know nothing really bad's gonna happen.
Right, yeah.
It's just, you know, life is so unexpected as it is. I'd rather know going into something that it's gonna have a decent ending.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it switches it up on me, like that movie If I Stay. Oh my God. Did not prepare well for that. Yeah. No, it was a great movie, but holy good God. But yeah, that's how I avoid that trigger, is making sure I'm not in a situation where I have to watch stuff like that. Which, again, sounds so small and dumb, but there's a reason behind it, you know?
Right. I know.
That's one of those things.
I know. I get it. And that's the thing, like every single person who has it, and there's quite a few people who have it. I mean, like, it's not talked about a lot because it's really like associated with like war mostly, or that's what most people think, right? People ask you that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you served?
You know what I say though? I've been to war in my head. That's why. Not comparing it to real war. For people freak out.
Right. Yeah. But that's a worse battle. So, I mean, depending on who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Not even gonna say that joke. It's sick. Sorry.
I won't make you. So, like, do you have things that you do to like avoid certain triggers besides like the Walmart aisle?
Yeah. Well, like when he first told me a year ago that, you know, he's like, oh, this is what you have, this and that, I kind of you know, started looking into it, and, you know, how to cure it. And, you know, you either do it through meds or therapy. I like therapy, but I don't. After like the third session, I always give up because they don't do it for me anymore. Like, they're not helping me.
Yeah.
They're not telling me anything that I don't already know. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like,
do you feel like this is how I used to feel? You go in there, you unload all this stuff, this like traumatic, sad, angry stuff. And then it's like, all right, well, I'll see you next week. And you walk out and you're like, what the fuck was that? It was like you get everything out. And it's like, yes, that's why. And it's like, well, I know that. And now I have to get in my car and try not to drive off a bridge because I just brought all this stuff up. And you're like, hey, good job today. And it's like, what the fuck?
Like, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
So, so funny story. So in my, if anybody out there feels like they have PTSD or think that they may have some symptoms, you know, do more research, whatever, make sure you see a psychiatrist and talk to someone about it. It's really important that they can like diagnose you the right way. And, you know, your normal doctor can't probably do that. It's really good to see a psychiatrist. So I'm pro them, therapy and psychiatry.
Yeah.
And
for some people,
so there's like
counseling works, therapy works.
It does,
you know, but
that's why
for me,
it's.
I left worse. Yeah.
When so my psychiatrist called me, and it was this lady, and I never, you know, they just rotate your chart and do the Zoom calls or whatever. And she was like, don't, you know, if therapy is making you more anxious, stop. She's like, then don't go. She's like, that's it. She was like, you know, some people already know what the problem is and they don't need to talk about it. You know, they just need to help try to move on or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So going back to before when you were like, you know, what do you do? Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like exposure therapy.
No. What is that?
No. Like, so we're basically like, so how you have the thing where you kind of put it to the side and keep it, you know, I overly expose myself so it doesn't do anything for me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I've already seen it so much that like I can't be triggered. Like there's only so many times you could be triggered. So it's like you overly expose yourself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I mean,
I don't know if I would live through that.
Story.
Honestly, like
that's
the way
why,
I
for
feel
me, it's like,
when it happens, it's almost like I come out of
I
my
feel
body.
Nothing. I feel numb.
Like I could like faint sometimes. Like it's so bad.
Yeah. No. I'm just like that. Like it's nothing.
Damn.
I so like over like, you know, like you're saying, like how you put that to the side. Like I remember when I was like, even though like I didn't lose my virginity till like way later, like then most people like I still right.
Late bloomers.
So right, I was super, but even before that, like I still exposed myself to like, you know, things of that nature, even though I didn't want to. Like I still wanted to know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it was definitely different when I was younger. I'd say by the time like 21 is when shit got real. So like ever since then, it's just one of those things. Just can't do it. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just putting some lotion on my foot because I heard it. No, I
know that.
I heard it. So, anyhow, I'm done.
You know what's funny is that like I look at you and I try to stay still because I see how still you stay the whole time, and then like I'll be watching you, but then like my peripheral, I see myself bouncing around. Like sit still, calm down.
I move nonstop.
I was wondering what you were doing.
Yeah, it's just my foot.
I need lotion. I like drew a tic-tac-toe thing on my leg today because my legs were ashy. I'm like, oh, look at
that. Oh, pickles. What else is going on?
Where is Pickles? Nothing. I haven't seen my cat, Pickles, all day. I don't know where he went.
Jesus.
Let's see. I got back on my meds.
Nice. How you feeling? They hit yet?
Yeah. Tired. They make me so tired in the first like week, or the last time I didn't get too tired, only the first week, but like, yeah, week and a half, 2 weeks maybe, but they just make me so tired.
Yeah.
And this is
Mine
day
still
3.
do that, which is why like certain ones I have to take at night because I can't
do take this
function.
at night. I sleep like a brick of concrete, and it's like so hard to wake up because it's like, yeah, depression depresses your whole body. like
It's exhausting mentally, physically, you know?
So I'm just waiting for that, like, you know, I've already done this before, so I'm just waiting for that stage. It's just hard. I was talking to somebody today who watches the show, and you know, I was talking to him about how it's hard sometimes to find the right meds, and because you before, when I visited you a couple years ago, I remember you said like you tried so many different combos before you could even find the right one.
Right. It's so tricky, and even this year, like I'm still not on an actual med for depression. Like the one I take is it treats like schizophrenia too, but that one is just, it's more for like, I have I have like a mood stabilizer type thing, and then I have one for anxiety and to help the mood stabilizer keep me stable. But I talked to my psych doctor today, and I had to up the one that I've been on for a while because you know, your body kind of levels out at some point. So like you can take a med for like 2 years and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work.
It doesn't.
I've been on this one for like about a year now, and the past few weeks, like I'm just kind of like all over the place. Yeah. So I talked to her today, and it was funny because as soon as I picked up the phone, like she always asked like the same questions. And usually when, you know, I first pick up, she's like, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm good. And today I was like, oh my God, I'm great. I'm back at work. Blah, 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 blah. And she was like, okay.
Your mood today is amazing. I know. Like as soon as you hopped on the camera, I was like, well, look who's freaking, what is it? Fluffer Tail or whatever the hell it's called.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde or whatever. It's total opposites. But she could tell.
I felt. Like I almost told you today, like I was like, I don't think I want to record today, but I was like, no, just fucking do it. And I did. So I mean, like I feel okay, but like you know, like I don't know, like those first few days of taking them. I have my appointment on Saturday for my Zoom call. Always wait for your doctor to give you your meds, but I just had some still left over from when I stopped taking them before, so I started by myself. I was like, we need to get the ball rolling because so I just did what I did this time, right? Like, because something's got it. It's like sometimes, I don't know for you, well, I'm sure, or maybe not, I don't know. Like sometimes it's not emotionally the change, it's behaviorally. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
In the way you move and the way you do things, and it's not always emotional.
No,
it's, you know, sometimes it's behavioral.
Some days I wonder.
Guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like some days, the things that I do every day, some days are just so hard to do. Meaning like I mess up my normal routine. So like this morning was one of those days. Like I made coffee, went outside, came back in, went in the bathroom, even though I knew I wanted to get a cup and get coffee. I went into the bathroom, started doing something. I was like, oh, I want coffee. I came out and I was like, oh, I need a towel for the bed. And it was like, I just didn't get my coffee until I was actually done getting dressed, which like never happens, but I just couldn't connect all the dots in my head. And it was like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, but sometimes it's almost like a good thing because then you get like stuff done and realize that maybe you don't.
Like shit, I vacuumed the floor and I need to brush my teeth. Weird.
And I didn't even have coffee. This is possible. or this is the meds. I don't know. Like we don't know.
Hey, I got a good question for you. So you know, we've both been on meds, off meds, on meds. When you first get back on meds, do you instantly start to wonder, like, as soon as you swallow the pill, like, is this working yet? Is it working?
Yep,
Is it working?
absolutely.
And the next day I'm like, yeah, I'm on medication. And then like 2 days in, I start to like come down from that hopefulness. And I'm like, shit, still crazy.
Okay. So you can relate, because I can top that with when I was diagnosed with PTSD. I walked out of that office as if I was already cured, because I knew there was a name. I was like, he's about to put me on meds. He said they take 3 weeks. Man, that first like 4 days, I was riding so high. I felt what normal, I guess, would feel like.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know what that is for other people.
No.
And even really now, I don't know what that is for me anymore, because so much happened. Still processing. Right? It's just like I'm trying to still figure out. But those 4 days, I remember them like crystal clear, because they were regular, or I felt regular. But to someone else, it was probably mania. You know what I mean? You can't win.
Even like answering the questions today, she's like, it's always the same one. So it's like, are you feeling suicidal? How's your sex drive? How are you eating? How's your focus? How's your energy? And she's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your mood? 10 being the best. And I'm like, gonna be honest, Joanne, really depends on the day. I was like, this weekend is probably like tipping at a 4 or 5. I was like, but this morning I felt really good. And now it's afternoon and I'm kind of like, I'm good, but not as good. I was like, it fluctuates. And that's why she was like, all right, we gotta up some stuff. Cause it's been very like set for a while. But I mean, you've seen me the past few weeks. It's been more like this, which it hasn't been like that in a long time, which also there were some things that did happen, but I feel like, 4 or 5 months ago, I would have handled it and like kind of moved on from it quicker, where I haven't been able to.
That did not happen this time. Right.
No.
No.
So,
speaking of, I forgot to mention, because we didn't talk about this, I'm making you do the challenge. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to do it or not, because so you're doing it.
You're so aggressive.
And you got I know. Red flag.
Stop bullying me. I feel attacked.
I'm telling you what to do. So I made a challenge, and for an announcement, I guess our website is up. It'll be in the description box. Super excited about that. We'll have the PDF for the challenge there. We'll have song of the day for episode 2, because that's the only time we did it besides then and now. And there's and you can listen to everything and watch everything on there. So check that out in the description box below.
Whoop, whoop.
And so for the challenge for day 1, it's watch The Secret on Netflix. And what we're trying to do is see if we can retrain your brain kind of to be a little bit more optimistic or positive, because of the last time that we got together and had the whole conversation about what you write and then what's real life.
Yeah, I write fantasy, for the record. It's
no,
fantasy
she doesn't.
romance.
Nope, it's real life.
Beautiful.
It can happen. Right. And I can't. It cracks me up. I love it. So we're gonna do that. So tomorrow or tonight, you need to start watching it. I watched it yesterday with AJ, half of it.
How did he like it?
He actually was like a little bit intrigued. Like he wasn't feeling it at first, and then he started getting intrigued, because there's because it's not a movie. It's just like a bunch of people talking about this thing, and then they put like some, I don't know, super lame, cheesy background music behind it or whatever. But like the whole thing is good overall. And they have a quantum physicist on there talking about Secret, which is the law of attraction. And I told AJ, I'm like, a quantum physicist is like math and science combined at like the highest level. So that intrigued him when he hears somebody who does this talking about how this works,
right?
Or how it is science. What you thoughts become things. I know, so on and so forth. You'll hear that in there. But yeah, so he wasn't like
Oh, that's
Let me
good.
see your like
He's also a
throw to
smarty
fit. I
pants,
know.
so that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise
but
me at
he
all.
doesn't like doing anything that I like because I'm not cool and I know nothing. So
Duh.
obviously, the fuck. I was like, you don't know how cool I am, bro.
He doesn't.
You should
He'll
be
figure it
lucky.
out someday.
I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
Totes my goats.
So yeah. So I don't know if you're gonna watch that tonight or tomorrow, but you need to figure it out so we can start it on the same day and then keep track.
Okay.
And then and I found
I'm not watching it tonight for the record. I'll try to watch it tomorrow. I already have
people
plans
text
for
me
what I'm
like,
watching tonight.
Where's your friend from with that hard ass accent? I'm like, it's my cousin. We're from New Bedford.
New
She lives in
Bedford.
Rhode Island. New Bedford.
I didn't realize how
Hey.
severe my accent was. Like, so I was on the phone with a customer like probably like 2.5 years ago. And, you know, I'm walking him through the process of like placing an order and stuff. And he stops me and he's like, "Are you from New York?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "What about Canada?" I'm like,
"Fuck you, Yankees suck."
I'm like, "No." He's like, "Where is your accent from?" And I was like, "Oh, well, see," I was like, "I grew up in Mass, but I've been in Rhode Island for like, I don't even know, what, almost like 17, 18 years."
Same thing.
So it's a mix because I get made fun of up here and then I get made fun of in Massachusetts. So I'm just like, yeah, he's like, "I don't know, you kind of sound like you're from New York, but you're Canadian." And I'm like, "Well, sir, I'm telling you I'm not." And he goes, just like this, he goes, "All right, if that's what you're going to stick with." I was like, "Bro, really?"
That's real specific.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, "No, I'm not
like,
Canadian."
why so specific, sir? I promise I'm not lying.
It was so weird, but listening to this, some words, I'm like, ugh. But it's funny too at the same time because
Oh, it's hilarious. I love it.
at
It's
times
so
I
great.
sound ghetto and I'm like, "Oh my God." Yeah.
Ow. Ow. I can just see it. Like, it makes my throat like,
Yeah.
ow. There's a skit on the
great.
late night show or the late show with Jimmy Fallon called L. And he dresses up as a woman and whoever's his guest, and they do this ew thing, and I can
Amazing.
throw up. It's making my throat like they hold all their spit like right in their throat to say it or something.
Oh, that's never gonna leave my head now.
That's what it sounds like. Ow.
Yeah. Anywho, Z.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You got anything else?
Not entirely. Just a big thanks to everyone that's been actually watching these.
I know.
Thanks to
Thank you. Everybody.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody who listens, download, watches a clip, thanks.
Yeah.
All around. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep getting. Well, I don't know about the video quality might be better, but we'll be just as funny. I feel.
Yeah.
Forever. So.
Totes my goats.
And if there's anything anybody wants to talk about, on the website, you can put in a suggestion, or you can just email us at cupsofcrazy@gmail.com. And thank you, everybody, so much for listening and watching.
Yeah. Peace out, coffee beans.
That's right.
Yeah.